collars onto each tube and slide the pins through the slot and into the socket. Then gently tighten the collars in place. This guarantees a waterproof seal around the end caps. The key to a successful and thriving aquarium is controlling water quality. You'll remember we conditioned the tap water when we initially filled the tank. This was to neutralise undesirable chemicals and prevent the fish's delicate skin and gills being damaged. This conditioning must be repeated whenever you carry out any routine maintenance. A vital factor is the pH of the water. Different fish can only survive in water that has a specific pH value, so it's important to maintain a constant pH to avoid your fish suffering. pH is a measure of how acidic or alkaline water is. The scale runs from 0 to 14, 0 being very acidic and 14 being very alkaline. At the middle of the scale is pH 7, known as neutral. The scale is logarithmic, meaning that each 1 point difference in pH equals a 10-fold increase, so the difference between a pH of 7 and 10 is in fact 1,000 times change. So you can see that even a 1 point change can really affect the health of your fish. That's why it's important to check with your fish retailer what pH value your chosen fish require, and to make sure you don't mix fish which require different pH values. Several factors can affect the pH value of the water, including the biological filtration and the respiration of the fish and plants. It's vital to check the initial pH of the water in the aquarium and then regularly check to keep it at a constant value. If the pH of your water needs changing to suit your particular fish, there are easy-to-use pH adjuster kits available. As we explained earlier, plants require carbon dioxide to thrive, and as a byproduct, they produce the oxygen that your fish will need. The fish, in turn, produce carbon dioxide as a byproduct which the plants can then use. It's this balanced cycle that keeps the whole aquarium healthy. Unfortunately, other factors can upset this balance, the most dangerous of which are the organic waste products which the fish produce. These are high in ammonia and can easily upset the balance in the tank. Fortunately, the hero of the hour are the good bacteria which grow in the tank filter. They consume the ammonia and convert it into nitrite, which is less poisonous than ammonia, but still a danger to the aquarium. Luckily, another good bacteria, called Nitrobacter, converts the nitrite to the relatively harmless nitrate. This nitrate is then used by the plants to help them grow. To accelerate the maturing of good bacteria in the filter, you need to add a startup bacteria to help the system on its way. Once added, it's important to test the water for ammonia, nitrite and nitrate every 2 days for up to 6 weeks, making sure to write down the results. Because the bacterial filter takes time to develop, you must wait at least 3 weeks before adding the first fish. So you should choose hardy fish that can tolerate changes in water quality, and these often tend to be shoaling fish. For examples of some suitable fish, see the reference guide on the main menu. For an extended reference guide, visit www.houndstarfilms.com and see our 101 Tropical Freshwater Fish DVD. If you're thinking of moving into marines, try our 101 Tropical Marine Fish DVD. When buying fish, always go to a reputable retailer who is a member of an aquatic trade association, such as OATA. This shows they take the welfare of their fish seriously. Only buy if you feel the tanks are clean and the fish look healthy. All tanks should have clear labels with details such as the maximum size the fish will grow to, their food requirements, and whether they're peaceful community fish or aggressive species. The fish should then be transferred to plastic bags, with both enough water for them to swim and enough air for their oxygen requirements. To ensure no fish get trapped in the corners of the bags, they should be taped up. When adding the fish, Float the bag in the aquarium for at least 15 minutes so as to equalize the water temperatures. Rolling down the bag into a collar can help fresh air in and stale air out. To prevent any pH shock to the fish, simply add half an inch or 12 millimeters of aquarium water to the bag at 2-minute intervals over the next 15 minutes. Then hold the bag just below the surface of the water and the fish should swim out into the aquarium. At the end of this 3rd week, and every one up to and including week 8, it's important to do a 25% water change to reduce any harmful levels of nitrate. In the 4th week, the biological filter is starting to process the fish waste, but it's important to still keep a check on the ammonia and nitrite levels. By week 5, a few more fish can be added to the aquarium. The biological filter is now maturing. In the 6th week, the filter is easily coping with additional fish. When the last batch of fish are added in week 7, the bacteria in the filter are now strong enough to adapt quickly to any changes. By week 8, the biological filter is fully mature. When you have checked the nitrate levels, you can then introduce more vulnerable, sensitive fish. All tank setups take varying times to mature, but once your filter has sufficient bacteria to deal with the waste, your testing kits will show 0 readings for nitrite and ammonia and minimal amounts of nitrate. It's always wise to have a quarantine tank set up and running before introducing any additional fish to your aquarium. There are lots of smaller tanks available that come ready assembled with filter, thermostat and air pump. The quarantine tank should have exactly the same high standards of water quality as the main aquarium. Clean gravel and some hiding places for nervous fish will provide an excellent temporary home. Whenever you buy new fish, you should keep them separate from the main tank for a period of 20 days, just in case they develop any illnesses that could contaminate the main aquarium. Avoid using any quarantine equipment in the main aquarium, otherwise you run the risk of cross-contamination. Feeding is the ideal time to check that all your fish are looking healthy and active. Initially, you should feed once a day, but after 2 months, when the biological filter is established, increase to twice daily. The most practical food for community fish is a complete food, flake or pellet. Flakes are good for small to medium-sized fish, with pellets for the larger fish and bottom feeders. To gauge the right amount, start with a small pinch. If it's all eaten within about 5 minutes, add a little more until the fish ignore it. Remove what's left to avoid polluting the water, and don't be tempted to overfeed. To keep your aquarium looking stunning and your fish healthy, it's essential to carry out simple routine maintenance. Every day, check the water temperature and look out for dead fish. Are the internal filter and lights working? Every 7 to 14 days, test the water quality. Clean the glass to prevent any algae buildup. Remove dead leaves. Vacuum the substrate with a gravel cleaner. Replace 15% of the water with conditioned water of the same temperature. Renew the yeast sugar solution in the CO2 system. And lastly, feed the plants with a liquid fertilizer. Every month it's essential that the filter is cleaned. When dismantling the filter, place the parts in old aquarium water in a bucket. Every 4 to 6 weeks, change the activated carbon filter. Always rinse the foam in the bucket of aquarium water. Check the impeller for any damage. Every 6 to 12 months, you should replace the fluorescent tubes before they give out. Over a period of time, the foam will begin to age and lose its shape. Just replace half the amount. This way you are still keeping some valuable good bacteria. Always rinse it in the bucket of aquarium water. Under no circumstances use tap water, because it will kill the beneficial bacteria that we want to keep in the filter. With the filter pump, check the impeller for any wear and tear and replace if necessary. Trim tall plants to let light through and replenish fertilizer tablets. Finally, check that the quarantine tank is clean and in full working order. You never know when you might need it. With proper routine maintenance, your aquarium should provide you with a vibrant and ever-changing landscape for years to come.